I wanted to make a quick video to help anyone who's having the same issue I did. I bought a little Novation Launchkey Mini, little 25-key keyboard to do simple keyboard parts, but also I wanted to use the 16 pads on it to trigger drum samples, so to do some finger drumming, because I'm not a drummer. And sometimes you just want to make a quick beat just to do a demo. So I hooked everything up. I ran the little Logic script. Logic sees it, works fine in Logic. But when I bring up Get Good Drums here, no matter what I did, I could not get the pads to trigger any of these drums here. Finally, someone mentioned something about using the Components website from Novation, components.novationmusic.com. If you go on there and you set up an account and your keyboard is hooked up, USB or what have you, it'll see the keyboard and it'll bring up something that looks like this. These are the 16 pads from my keyboard. What I found the problem was they were auto-sent to these different keys on the keybed. So what you had to do was you had to go into the settings here on the drum program, and you can see the different instruments. For example, kick is set to C1. Well, over here we've got C3, C2. There is no C1. It wasn't triggering anything. So what I had to do was you go in here. For example, if you want this key here to be the, or this pad rather, to be the kick. So if on your drums the kick is C1, you just take this and you edit it and you go down till it says C1 here. And I'll do that real quick. C1, and then say now you want this to be the snare or this to be the snare, whatever, however you want to configure it. But let's say this, we want to be the snare. I come over here and I see the snare. Now you've got a couple different types of hits. I just wanted a straight snare hit, and it says it's C#1. So I go over here, go to this, go down till it's at C#1. Right there, and you go through each key, or each pad rather, and set them to whatever these instruments over here that you want. Keep in mind, even though I have 16 pads to work with, there's a lot of different options here. Like on the hats, you can see there's the tip, the edge, closed, open, 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 pedal. So you're going to have to decide what sounds are most important, since you only have 16 to work with. Now, you set all those to these individual key numbers here. And what you can do is if you set up this account on this site, you can then save it right here. And then you hit send to Launchkey Mini, and it automatically sends it via USB. It sends it right into the keyboard. And if I don't have the camera on the keyboard, but if I'm over here hitting the pads, now they're all set up and they're all working fine. You can see, like, I have this one here set to the snare. You can see it triggering the snare, kick, different cymbals, different hi-hat, what have you. And then once you record, you can go in and change all the velocity settings to the volume you want. But a couple more, two more things. So shut down the computer, came back to it a couple days later. It had lost the corresponding settings. I just logged into this components site, went to this GGD here that I saved, that custom setting, hit the send to Launchkey Mini, and I'm right back in there and it saves it again. So it literally took seconds to put it back on the keyboard. But I will say I went everywhere on the internet looking for a tutorial on how to set this up and could not find one. So here you go. Hope it works for you. It's pretty simple once you get it. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And good luck. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. All right. Thanks.